This is it. This is the entrance to the monument.
Speculation is that extraterrestrials created the Yonaguni Monument. The engineering is just beyond the capacity of Stone Age civilizations.
Have you ever imagined what lies hidden beneath the ocean waves? The deep sea is a vast and mysterious frontier, with over 80% remaining unexplored. In this video, we'll be diving down to uncover some of the most incredible discoveries scientists have made in this shadowy realm. Get ready for creatures and features that seem like they belong in science fiction, and prepare to have your mind blown. The Mammoths Tusk. Mammoths were once common giants that roamed North America during the Ice Age. These relatives of elephants had long, curved tusks that were likely used for digging, fighting, and even attracting mates. While finding mammoth tusks buried in land isn't exactly surprising, coming across one in the deep ocean is a whole different story. In July 2021, scientists made an incredible discovery while exploring the ocean floor off the coast of California. Over 2 miles beneath the surface, they stumbled upon a 3-foot-long tusk. Further investigation revealed that this wasn't just any tusk, but belonged to an extinct Columbian mammoth. This find sparked a whole new mystery. How in the world did a mammoth tusk end up buried so deep underwater? Unfortunately, the answer to that question might forever remain a secret. There are some theories, however. Perhaps a massive flood, more powerful than anything we can imagine today, ripped this mammoth away from its normal habitat and carried it far out to sea. The strong currents could have then pulled the body down to the ocean floor, where over time, the flesh decomposed and the tusk, being made of much tougher material, was left behind. This is just one possible explanation, and scientists are likely to continue debating the exact cause for quite some time. One thing is for sure, this Columbian mammoth tusk offers a fascinating glimpse into the distant past and the forces that can shape our planet. Gigantic Seamount. When you think about the world's tallest building, the Burj Khalifa in Dubai instantly comes to mind. This architectural marvel pierces the clouds, reaching a staggering 2,722 feet and dwarfing everything around it. Standing at the top, you would feel like you could see forever, with the world laid out like a miniature model below. But even the mighty Burj Khalifa pales in comparison to the hidden giants that slumber beneath the ocean waves. In November 2023, researchers were on a mission to map the seafloor near Guatemala. They were likely expecting the usual assortment of underwater hills and plains, but what they discovered instead was unlike anything they had ever encountered before. Their instruments picked up a massive bump on the ocean floor, and as they investigated further, the true scale of this underwater behemoth became clear. This wasn't just any bump in the seabed, it was a gigantic, underwater mountain rising an incredible 5,250 feet from the ocean floor. To put that in perspective, that's almost twice the height of the Burj Khalifa. This underwater mountain, more precisely called a seamount, isn't just a random pile of rock. Shaped like a giant, submerged cone, it's actually the long-dormant remains of an ancient underwater volcano. Millions of years ago, it would have erupted with molten lava, spewing ash and smoke onto the ocean floor. Over time, volcanic activity ceased, and the seamount slowly became encrusted with sediment and the skeletons of tiny marine creatures. Even though it's long extinct, this seamount continues to play a vital role in the ocean ecosystem. The hard rock surfaces provide a stable foundation for deep-sea corals, sponges, and a whole host of strange and fascinating invertebrates to cling to. These communities thrive in the currents that sweep over the seamount, filtering out nutrients and providing a food source for these unique creatures. Experts estimate that there are at least 100,000 undiscovered seamounts scattered across the ocean floor, each with its own story to tell. These silent giants are evidence of the power of geological forces and the hidden ecosystems that exist far from the light of the sun. The Golden Orb. The ocean is a vast and mysterious realm, teeming with life in all shapes and sizes, and even for the most seasoned scientists, the deep sea holds many secrets. In September 2023, a research team from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration encountered one such mystery while exploring the Gulf of Alaska. The team of scientists were aboard a research vessel, their sophisticated equipment probing the inky blackness miles beneath the surface. Suddenly, a glint on a monitor caught their eye. Using a remotely operated vehicle, a maneuverable underwater robot, they investigated further. There, nestled amongst the rocks on the seafloor over 2 miles down, was a curious-looking golden orb. It was perfectly smooth and spherical, about the size of a large apple. Intrigued, the scientists carefully maneuvered the remotely operated vehicle to collect the orb and bring it to the surface for further study. However, the journey up brought an unexpected turn of events. As the orb neared the surface, where sunlight could finally reach it, it began to lose its structure. The once firm golden sphere started to soften and deform, eventually melting into a shapeless, gloopy mass. This strange behavior left the scientists even more perplexed. Back in the lab, scientists became even more baffled. Initial analysis revealed that the orb was indeed of biological origin, but beyond that, it was a complete mystery. Theorizing about what the orb could be became a lively debate among the researchers. Some thought it might be a strange type of egg case, while others suggested it could be a deep-sea sponge unlike any they had seen before. The possibility that it was something entirely new, a species yet to be classified, was also on the table. The golden color of the orb added another layer to the enigma. Down in the deep sea, sunlight doesn't penetrate. So why was this orb golden? Was the color a pigment used by the creature itself, or a result of some unknown biological process? The mystery of the golden orb from the Gulf of Alaska remains unsolved. Scientists are still analyzing the strange goo it became, hoping to unlock the secrets of its origin and function. Yonaguni Monument. Imagine yourself diving off the southern coast of Yonaguni, Japan. Sunlight filters through the crystal-clear water, illuminating a breathtaking underwater landscape. But this isn't your typical coral reef. Instead of colorful fish and swaying seaweed, you find yourself surrounded by massive stone structures, geometric shapes, unlike anything you have ever seen before. That's exactly what happened in 1985, when a diver named Kihachiro Arataki strayed a bit too far from the usual diving spots. Astonished, he found himself gazing upon massive underwater structure that defied explanation. These weren't just ordinary rocks, scattered along the seabed. This was a complex arrangement of gigantic stone blocks, some estimated to be as large as a 3-story building. The most striking feature was the way these blocks seemed to fit together perfectly, with some even exhibiting right-angled corners. As Aratake explored further, he came across what appeared to be intricate carvings etched into the stone surface. Adding to the intrigue were formations resembling stairways, paved streets, crossroads, and even plazas. It looked like a sunken city, eerily similar to the lost city of Atlantis from ancient myths. The discovery of the Yonaguni Monument, as it came to be called, sent shockwaves through the scientific community. The debate over its origins has raged on ever since. One camp, fueled by the seemingly man-made features, believes this is a lost city, submerged by a cataclysmic event thousands of years ago.
This, to my eye, looks unmistakably to be the work of human beings.
They point to the estimated age of the Yonaguni Monument, which someplace around 10,000 years old, putting its construction well before the rise of any known civilization in the region. This has led some to propose that an advanced, unknown culture once thrived in this area. However, another group of scientists is firmly convinced that the Yonaguni Monument is a natural formation. They argue that the right-angled joins and carvings are simply illusions caused by the way natural processes like erosion and weathering have sculpted the rock over millions of years. They point out that the rock formations on Yonaguni are composed of sandstone and Ryukyu limestone, both susceptible to erosion by strong underwater currents. These currents, they argue, could have carved the blocks into the shapes we see today, creating the illusion of man-made structures. In addition to this, they point to the lack of any artifacts or other signs of human habitation, typically found in archaeological sites. So, what is the truth? Is the Yonaguni Monument a testament to a lost civilization, or a spectacular example of the power of nature? The debate continues, and the true origins of this underwater wonder remain a mystery. Sac-Wayum. Within the jungles of southern Mexico lies the Yucatan Peninsula, a land steeped in ancient Mayan history and shrouded in local legend. Here, nestled amongst the lush vegetation and hidden beneath the earth, lies a natural wonder known as a cenote. These caverns are formed when the roof of soft limestone collapses, revealing the vast network of underground rivers that flow beneath the peninsula. One such cenote, known as Sac-Wayum, has long been a source of fear and fascination for the local villagers. Legends speak of a terrifying creature guarding its depths, a feathered serpent with the head of a horse. Older residents whisper tales of villagers who claim to have seen this serpent perched in the trees, its movements almost ritualistic before plunging into the cenote's dark waters. In January 2014, a team of underwater archaeologists ventured into the very heart of Sac-Wayum, determined to unravel its secrets. As they descended into the cool, murky depths, they knew they were entering a place that had captivated and perhaps terrified people for centuries. Their initial dives revealed a sight that sent shivers down their spines. The cavern floor was scattered with human bones and skulls. There were more than a dozen human remains. The most striking feature of these skulls, however, was their elongated shape. This wasn't a natural deformity. It appeared that the skulls had been deliberately flattened during infancy, a practice known to some ancient cultures. Archaeologists are still piecing together the reasons behind this custom, but it certainly added another layer of mystery to the already puzzling scene. Intriguingly, the team found no signs of violence on the bones that would suggest these individuals were sacrificed. So, what exactly happened at Sac-Wayum? Were these remains the result of a tragic accident, or perhaps a ritualistic event of some kind? The lack of clear answers only deepened the cenote's aura of intrigue. The cenote may hold the key to unlocking a forgotten chapter in Mayan history, but for now, it remains a chilling reminder of the mysteries that lie hidden beneath the earth. The Bermuda Triangle. If you have never heard of the Bermuda Triangle, then you're probably not alone. But for many travelers and sailors, the mere mention of its name conjures images of mysterious disappearances, freak weather events, and an unsettling sense of unease. This roughly triangular-shaped region of the Atlantic Ocean, stretching between Miami, Bermuda, and Puerto Rico, has become synonymous with maritime and aerial oddities. The legend of the Bermuda Triangle can be traced back to the early days of exploration. In fact, Christopher Columbus himself documented some unusual experiences while navigating these waters. His logbook mentions a strange, glowing light in the sky that seemed to crash into the horizon. This eerie encounter may have been one of the first recorded incidents that helped spark the mystique surrounding the area. Over the years, stories of disappearances in the Bermuda Triangle grew like barnacles on a ship's hull. Tales of ghost ships, rogue waves, and electronic equipment going haywire began to circulate. One such incident, etched into the annals of the Bermuda Triangle's lore, occurred in 1945. A squadron of 5 United States Navy torpedo bombers, collectively known as Flight 19, disappeared during a routine training exercise. Despite a massive search effort, no wreckage or survivors were ever found. Flight 19's disappearance, along with numerous other incidents, cemented the Bermuda Triangle's reputation as a place where the laws of nature don't quite apply. But is the Bermuda Triangle truly a graveyard for ships and planes, or is there a more rational explanation for these disappearances? That's a question that continues to spark debate. The cursed ship. The Gulf of Mexico is a vast underwater graveyard, littered with an estimated 4,000 shipwrecks. These silent sentinels hold stories of exploration, commerce, and war, waiting to be pieced together by archaeologists. One particular shipwreck, the Mika wreck, however, stands out for the strange events that have plagued attempts to study it. Discovered by ExxonMobil during a routine pipeline survey, the Mika wreck, named after the adjacent oil field, wasn't exactly met with a warm welcome. Ironically, in their effort to lay an 8-inch pipeline, they ended up drilling right through the center of the shipwreck. This seemingly unfortunate coincidence might have been the first sign of trouble to come. Intrigued by the find, a team of archaeologists set out to explore the wreckage. However, Their mission was plagued by a series of bizarre and frustrating setbacks. As their submersible approached the wreck, it began to malfunction. Video monitors flickered and died whenever the thrusters were engaged, sonar readings went haywire, and hydraulic systems inexplicably seized up. One after another, seemingly routine operations turned it into technical nightmares. Undeterred, the researchers called upon the United States Navy for assistance. A state-of-the-art research submersible was deployed, carrying a robotic arm designed to explore the wreck. Unfortunately, this attempt was met with an almost comical disaster. Upon entering the water, the submersible malfunctioned and self-destructed its own robotic arm. As if that wasn't enough, when the submersible finally reached the shipwreck, its robotic arms turned out to be too short to properly examine the hull. These are just a few examples of the seemingly endless string of technical difficulties that have plagued attempts to explore the Mika wreck. Local fishermen have even taken to calling it a cursed ship, warding off anyone who dares venture near it. While there is no scientific basis for such a claim, the history of technical malfunctions has certainly added an extra layer of intrigue to the Mika wreck's mystery. So, what secrets does the Mika wreck hold? Is it simply a case of a series of unfortunate coincidences, or is there something more at play? This shipwreck continues to challenge researchers and archaeologists, and its story remains tantalizingly incomplete. Perhaps future advancements in technology will allow us to finally unravel the mysteries of the Mika wreck and the tales it has to tell. The Mystery in Zakinthos. The Greek island of Zakinthos is a popular tourist destination, famous for its idyllic beaches and crystal-clear waters that beckon swimmers and divers alike. But beneath this tranquil surface lies a mystery that has captivated archaeologists and scientists alike. In June 2013, a team of Greek archaeologists made an announcement that sent shockwaves through the world of underwater exploration. They claimed to have uncovered an ancient city submerged in the Gulf of Alakanos, off the coast of Zakinthos. This wasn't just any underwater find. According to their initial assessment, the site consisted of massive public buildings, cobblestone streets, and even the bases for large pillars. These features all pointed towards a once thriving settlement, perhaps a bustling port city that had met its watery demise long ago. One particularly intriguing detail was the presence of 20 stone pillar bases, each with a perfectly round incision measuring 34 centimeters in diameter. Archaeologists believed these incisions were designed to hold wooden columns, and this further solidified their theory of a grand public building. The discovery fueled speculation about the lost civilization that might have built this underwater metropolis. However, the story took an unexpected turn just a few years later. A new study cast doubt on the initial interpretation. This team of researchers took a closer look, not just at the shapes and sizes of the underwater structures, but also at their very composition. They conducted a chemical analysis of the rocks, and the results were surprising. What initially appeared to be meticulously crafted stone features turned out to be something natural mineral formations. Here is the science behind it. Methane gas is a byproduct of decaying organic matter buried deep beneath the ocean floor. Sometimes this methane leaks out, creating pockets of the gas around natural vents. Certain types of microbes thrive in these methane-rich environments. As they consume the methane, they produce a mineral called dolomite, which can accumulate and harden over time, forming unusual shapes on the seabed. Interestingly, Zakinthos is located near a well-known underwater oil field in the Mediterranean. This proximity to a natural source of methane could explain the fuel source for the dolomite-producing microbes. The researchers propose that the variations in the size and shape of these formations are likely due to the differing sizes of the methanoliques and the way the microbes cluster it around them to feed. While the initial excitement of an ancient metropolis may have been dampened, this discovery is no less fascinating. Now, it's time for today's subscriber's pick. The ocean is a vast and mysterious place, teeming with life we haven't even discovered yet. Take, for instance, this captivating image where a fish resembling a whale shark glides gracefully. Yet, what truly captures attention is the enigmatic light emanating from its mouth area. Whale sharks are filter feeders, meaning they suck in water and plankton, and don't have any bioluminescent properties. So what could this light be? There are two main possibilities. The light source could be a diver behind the whale shark, with their light reflecting off the water in the shark's mouth. Another possibility is that the fish in the image isn't actually a whale shark, but a different species entirely. There are some deep sea fish known to have bioluminescent mouths that they use to lure prey or communicate with other fish. Do you think the light is from a diver or something more mysterious? Let us know in the comments below. Volcanic underwater nursery. In the vast expanse of the Pacific Ocean, just off the coast of Canada, lies an ancient, deep-sea volcano. It is a colossal underwater mountain, towering over 3,600 feet from the seafloor. But this isn't just any ordinary mountain, it holds a surprising secret. In July 2023, a team of researchers embarked on an expedition to explore this undersea giant. What they discovered defied expectations. This ancient volcano, long thought to be dormant, was, in fact, still very much alive. Warm, nutrient-rich water emanated from its depths. This warm water acted like a beacon for deep-sea creatures, fostering a thriving ecosystem unlike anything ever seen before. But the most remarkable discovery came in the form of a nursery teeming with life. Blanketing the volcanic slopes were countless rectangular-shaped egg cases known as mermaids' purses. These leathery pouches held the developing young of Pacific whiteskates, which are fascinating creatures related to sharks and rays. The sheer number of these egg cases was staggering. Scientists estimated there could be anywhere from 100,000 to over 1 million nestled amongst the volcanic rock. This discovery painted a beautiful picture of how deep-sea ecosystems function. The warmth from the active volcano provided a perfect environment for these skates to lay their eggs. The constant flow of nutrient-rich water likely provided food for the developing embryos within the mermaids' purses. Once hatched, the young skates would find a safe haven in the nooks and crannies of the volcanic rock, with an abundant food source nearby, before venturing out into the vast expanse of the deep ocean. The deep-sea volcano off Canada's Pacific coast serves as a remarkable reminder that life finds a way, even in the most extreme environments. The snail fish. Deep below the ocean, the pressure is intense. Imagine the weight of 1,000 cars pressing down on you. That's what it's like for creatures dwelling in the deepest trenches. For an average human, venturing down there would be fatal. Our bodies would implode under the immense weight of the water. But down in this eternal twilight zone, where sunlight barely reaches, there are fish that have adapted to thrive in this crushing environment. In April 2023, scientists made an incredible discovery in the Izu-Ogasawara Trench, one of the deepest gashes in Earth's crust located near Japan. Using a remotely operated vehicle, they captured eerie footage of ghostly white fish gliding along the seafloor. These fish, believed to be a new species of snail fish, were filmed at a depth of 27,349 feet. This is over 500 feet deeper than any fish ever recorded before. What allows these ghostly snail fish to survive where others would be crushed? The secret lies in their remarkable adaptations. Unlike most fish with their hard scales, snailfish have evolved a gelatinous layer that acts like a built-in pressure suit. This squishy outer layer helps to absorb the immense pressure, protecting their delicate bodies from being pulverized. But that's not all. These fish also possess unique biochemical adaptations on a cellular level, allowing them to function in an environment where most life forms would simply shut down. The same expedition that captured this amazing footage also managed to achieve another feat. Using special traps, they managed to capture 2 snailfish from the nearby Japan Trench at a depth of 26,319 feet. This makes them the deepest fish ever retrieved by humans, providing scientists with a chance to study these fascinating creatures up close and unravel the secrets of their deep-sea survival. The Mariana Trench. The Mariana Trench, located in the western Pacific Ocean, holds the title of the deepest point on Earth. Dive down 36,201 feet and you'll hit the ocean floor. This depth is so profound that even Mount Everest, the crown jewel of our mountains, would be completely submerged, with over 7,000 feet of water still towering above its peak. This incredible depth creates a crushing pressure, thousands of times greater than what we experience at the surface. It's a harsh environment, almost alien in its conditions. Because of this immense pressure, only a few courageous expeditions have ever dared to descend to the abyss of the trench. Specially designed submersibles, built to withstand the incredible forces trying to squeeze them like a soda can, were required for these dives. The vastness and darkness of the Mariana Trench is truly mind-boggling, and it leaves us with so many unanswered questions. It's a whole different world down there, with unique creatures adapted to survive in the crushing darkness and cold. It makes you wonder what other mysteries lurk in the deepest reaches of our oceans, waiting to be discovered. The anomaly in the Baltic Sea. There is no doubt that the ocean depths hold more secrets than stars in the night sky. Among these mysteries is the Baltic Sea anomaly. This was an unusual and unidentified object that surfaced, well, not exactly surfaced, but was discovered by a group of Swedish treasure hunters in the depths of the Baltic Sea back in 2011. Unlike the vast emptiness of space, the ocean floor is constantly littered with the detritus of human history and the strange creations of nature. So, when a team of Swedish divers calling themselves the Ocean X Team were treasure hunting in the Baltic Sea, they weren't necessarily surprised to come across something unusual. What surprised them, however, was just how unusual it was. At a depth of 300 feet, they stumbled upon a formation that defied easy explanation. The team leader described the formation as having very strange stair formations. He further went on to say that if it were man-made, it must have been constructed tens of thousands of years ago, possibly even before the last ice age. This naturally sent imaginations into overdrive. Could this be an artifact from a long-lost civilization? Perhaps even the legendary Atlantis? Was it a meteorite from outer space? Or even a piece of some secret undersea war technology dreamt up by a nation long forgotten? The possibilities were endless, and the lack of concrete evidence only fueled the fire of speculation. However, before we start picturing scenes from science fiction movies, it's important to consider a key detail. The only image available of the anomaly isn't a photograph, but a sonar image. Sonar technology works by bouncing sound waves off objects and interpreting the echoes. While it can be a powerful tool for underwater exploration, the resolution of sonar images can be limited, especially at depths like those where the anomaly was found. Scientists were skeptical that the sonar used by the Ocean X team was sophisticated enough to capture the intricate details of the stair formations. They argued that the image, rather than depicting a meticulously crafted structure, was likely a natural formation distorted by the sonar technology. The eerie ocean sounds. Have you ever been out for a walk in the quiet woods at night and heard a rustle in the bushes? Your heart starts to race, your imagination runs wild. Is it a deer, a coyote, or something more mysterious? Now imagine that same feeling of suspense, but amplified 1,000-fold, in the middle of the vast ocean. There are very few places on Earth as mysterious and unsettling as the deep sea, and the sounds that emanate from its depths can be downright eerie. Two of the most famous and unexplained sounds ever recorded in the ocean are known simply as the bloop and Julia. The bloop first startled researchers at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration way back in 1997. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration scientists are on the cutting edge of ocean exploration, and in this case, they were searching for underwater volcanoes. Suddenly, their equipment picked up something, unlike anything they'd ever heard before. The bloop wasn't a short blip or a crackle. It was a long, drawn-out, ultra-low frequency sound that lasted for a full minute. And to make things even more unsettling, it was one of the loudest underwater sounds ever recorded. 2 years later, in 1999, NOAA's hydrophones picked up another strange sound, this one christened Julia. While not quite as long as the bloop, Julia was no less powerful. This eerie, scraping screech echoed for a full 15 seconds and was so loud it could be heard across 3,000 miles of the equatorial Pacific Ocean. Naturally, these otherworldly sounds captured the public's imagination. Some people with a taste for the fantastical jumped to the conclusion that these were the mournful cries of some unknown leviathan lurking in the ocean depths. Others, a little more grounded, believed they might be the vocalizations of some giant, undiscovered sea creature. Scientists, however, have a more down-to-earth explanation. They believe both the bloop and Julia are more likely to be the result of gigantic icebergs scraping against the ocean floor as they break off from glaciers. It may not be as captivating as a sea monster, but it makes a lot more scientific sense. But that doesn't mean there isn't a part of us that still wonders, what if it's not? Thank you for watching this video. See you in the next one.